What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug, and welcome to RimWorld, a colony building simulator now available in Steam Early Access, although it's been around since around 2013-ish. It is just launching on Steam, Alpha 14. Full disclosure, this copy was provided to me by the publisher. It is normally $29.99 on Steam, and you might be wondering just why would the publisher provide me with a copy of this game, and I'm wondering the same thing. This is a complicated genre. This is a genre that I normally don't get into, only because I understand the time commitment it takes to wring out any enjoyment. So this game I've played about an hour of. If you're looking for any kind of an expert, like pro strategies for this game, you're not going to find them here, but you might find some amusement watching me be terrible at this game. So, first and foremost, I'm going to jump in here to a new colony before I load, which is basically a new colony. And we got three scenarios here. Now, the crash landed is the basic scenario that the game started with. And they added two more, which are part of this new alpha. But we're going to go with the basic stuff. And here you can see you have an AI storyteller that kind of determines the events that take place over the course of the game. This is pretty much standard with Cassandra. You've got Chillax here, who is, you know, you get a little bit easier case, but still it can get hard depending on the difficulty. And then Randy Random, who is just, you know, when the fuck ever he feels like doing things. Now, within these three, you also have your difficulty levels. You got free play, you've got base builder, you've got rough, you've got challenge, which is the way it's meant to be played, and extreme. You can also add on permadeath, because why wouldn't you? So once you pick, you know, say a difficulty like challenge, and you hit next, you can pick a seed here. You can say attackslug is the seed. That gives you a world, a map, and you can pick wherever you want on the map, or you can just say, hey, random site, and it'll kind of just, you know, will toss you wherever. You can go into an advanced thing here and really kind of just muck around with it. We're not going to do that here. So you pick a site, and then you pick your three people who have crash landed on this planet, and your goal is to either escape or you're, you know, going to die eventually. But you want to survive as long as possible, ideally. And you can choose three here. You can't do much here outside of the names, but you can hit randomize to get different, you know, backstories and traits and that kind of stuff. And then you kind of hit start, and that's how that goes. So I did all that, and we're going to hop back in here. Because most of the people here who watch this channel are all into wrestling, certainly I thought, hey, what's the best way to pick three people to land on this RimWorld? That's right, it's the Shield. So we're going to load up Shield 1 here. This is literally the beginning of the game, when things just, you know, you land on your little pod from your crashed starship. We have Roman, we have Dean, and we have Seth. So, first and foremost, there's a lot of stuff in this game. There's a lot of options, and it can be and is pretty overwhelming. So the first thing you're going to want to do, first and foremost, is zoom in here. You're going to find some of this stuff. You have to actually say, hey, yes, you guys can touch this stuff. And then we're going to click on Roman. We're going to give him... We're going to click on Roman. We're going to give him this knife. And he'll go and get that knife. Now, your people here are more or less... we'll give Ambrose the gun. And then there's a third thing. The other gun for Mr. Rollins here. So, your colonists here kind of have a mind of their own, more or less. So if I go in here into work, you can see, you know, what they prioritize in terms of what they would be doing. So I'm going to give them grow here. I'm going to say give them mine here. Hunt is important, and hopefully we can deal with that. They're already just starting to do stuff. But what you want to do here when you're first starting, and this took me a little while to figure out, is that you want a room to hold some beds in so people can actually sleep. So they'll just kind of go out and do stuff on their own, so you want to kind of assign them a thing to do. So you go down here into Architect, you go to Structure, you get some walls, and then you build some walls. So we're going to take this very simple structure here. Obviously, it gets way more complex as you move along with it, and we'll put a door here so you have an actual room now. So, we got crash landed here with some supplies, and we're going to take those supplies here, like this right here, and say, yes, touch that, use that, and hopefully, they will start using these supplies to, yes, steal. Use that steel, you guys. Use, yes, Roman, get your big muscles in there and use the goddamn steel. I don't care how many steroids you gotta take, just fucking do it. So, it will hopefully start building if I'm doing it right. Hold on, let's close that. Architects, nope. The architect, Seth Rollins. No, we want to make sure they're going to... Alright, so Dean is going to get this steel here, and he should start building this structure. So, building a room. Yeah, so you guys head over and get stuff, and they will start building that stuff. Now, I'm not telling them to do that. That's part of their AI routine. So, we also want... Not floors, we want, a zone. So you want to have a place to put your stuff, so you make a stockpile zone. Do some of this, and that'll be that. And then eventually, they're going to finish building this room here, and we are going to want to have some furniture, and you want to have 3 beds. So we'll space out these beds a little bit. So these AI little guys here are governed by a number of rules. That makes them, kind of do what they, are going to do. And not having active control is kind of the thing that takes a while to get used to. Now, this genre, which has games like Dwarf Fortress and No Moria and, say, Prison Architect, is not a thing that I'm good at. So it's like, I find it super fascinating to play, but also, like, the joy in the game is going to be in the complexity, in learning the complexity, and figuring out just what it is you should be doing. And so, having only played about an hour so far, I have not really figured that out yet. They have the option now to get some food. I need to get some food. And so, as you're building, and as you're constructing, and as you're doing things, events will happen. You'll have raiders, you'll get invaded, you'll have to fight guys off, which is why the guns were so important at the very beginning. But, more importantly, this is just the regular game speed, and so people who actually play this game seriously are going to hit the super fast game speed. There you go. They're just going to buzzing like crazy, getting this shit done, hopefully getting enough supplies to make this room happen, and then we'll have a door and a place to sleep. But certainly, it goes on beyond that in terms of the amount of stuff you can get into and the amount of things you can do. So that should be just about done for our little house here. Why there's a squirrel in there, I don't know. So I'll go back to regular speed as the day ends. I don't know if I can, like... There's things I haven't quite figured out yet in terms of getting them to do what I want them to do. And that's been kind of frustrating, I guess, in a manner of speaking. But as you can see here, when you go through, all the things that you can build here, beds and lamps and racks and security features like sandbags, which we'll kind of put a couple of the... We're not in a bad spot here, so we'll kind of just say, hey, put some sandbags like here, and at some point they might actually get to that, but probably not. I don't know. That's kind of the problem that I had, was that they never really got to all the things I wanted to do, because I couldn't quite figure out the proper way to make them do it. But you can do different zones here, your home area, your roof area. You can get into. Oh, actually, let's get into a campfire if I can find one. Temperature. Put up that campfire right about there, and hopefully they'll build that. So here they are. They're building these sandbags. So they're still. I'm still early enough where it's still giving me all kinds of different tutorial stuff, and I can inspect the impressiveness of the room, room status inspection. But as you can see here, there's just different stuff to do. So I've just kind of gone with the basic stuff. And hopefully they'll continue. Seth, what are he's watching the sunset. Good job, Seth Rollins, watching the sunset. You piece of shit. Anyway, you can get into your characters here. You can see, you know, he had a deep talk with Roman and a nice chat with Dean. You see his gear here and what his skills are. He is a music lover. He is a defector, obviously. He's Seth Rollins. He's Seth freaking Rollins. He has needs: food, rest, joy, beauty, space, mood. And here is his health. He has a bite scar and a stab scar. So, again, the amount of options in this game, the amount of menus in this game that you can drill down and seriously get into some serious shit. Factions, and there's the world map for the shield, and the history of our wealth, and it's crazy. I don't have a bench yet for research. I should probably do that. So let's see if we can architect us a bench here for research. I'm not actually sure. I haven't gotten that far into the game yet. Simple bench. I want to say that Q and E. There we go. Put this outside. Or not. Put this inside. So they will hopefully build that. To make them work at a table, select the table, open the bills. Alright, yes. So I don't have it's not built yet, so can't do much until they build it. Dean's still cracking on that stuff. We'll kind of make this food available. I'm not sure how to get them to get the food into the, well, in any event. Yeah, let's make that where they can touch it, and hopefully someone will actually go and stockpile it. All this stuff, you guys, is all this stuff. Red Fox. They're all just hanging out, being bros, being in the shield, and sleeping. And so when it gets nighttime, you can obviously, you know, increase the speed and get that stuff knocked out. And you can say, hey, we need some wood here, so you can assign them, say, hey, chop that one, and chop that one, and they'll get to it eventually. But part of the fun here is trying to manage your guys to make them do what you want, and also the stories that you will have to tell. Now, I've seen all kinds of forum posts and reviews and whatnot on this game about how it is, you get attached to these characters and you have stories to tell in what happened in your world. And I don't know if that's like, say, I've read stories about games like EVE Online, where I would never play EVE Online, but the stories are amazing. And having played, say, a little bit of Prison Architect, and enjoyed what I played, but the amount of the time investment for these kinds of games, this genre of game, is kind of insane. So, as someone who tends to play games where, you know, hey, 20 hours and you're done, or, you know, 6 hours and you're done, move on to the next one, having something where you could potentially spend hundreds of hours is not the most appealing thing to me. But I feel like with this game, because the publisher was gracious enough to send me a copy, I should definitely keep playing it. And by that I mean I'm going to play it off camera and then come back and check in like every couple of hours. So not on a steady schedule, but I want to see the further adventures here of Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. I think you guys might want to as well, as they attempt to survive on this hostile alien RimWorld and either make a big colony or just escape the planet. One of those two. But in any event, this is just the beginning, I hope, depending on how much time I have. I'm going to actually pause it here. The space bar is to pause the game. And you can kind of pause it, issue orders, build stuff, and they hopefully will get to that stuff that you want them to build. Anyway, this is RimWorld. I know this intro video was kind of slow because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And that's kind of, you know, I I'm of two minds of that, because trying to play enough of this game to give you an accurate representation of what this game is the amount of time I don't really have, considering my usual YouTube schedule of 2 videos a day, etc., etc. So, that being said, this is RimWorld. I'm going to hit save here, which is one of these buttons. Menu. I'm going to save shield here. So, we're going to pick up at some point down the line, hopefully with a bigger colony, and having Seth, Roman, and Dean doing a lot better. We're going to overwrite our shield save here. This game does have mod support, Steam Workshop support, so constantly you can expand upon what is in here. I think what is in here is certainly a very solid package, and if this is the kind of game you like, say Dwarf Fortress, No Moria, etc., if you haven't heard of it, definitely go check it out. I think it's pretty damn interesting. That wraps up this very brief look at the very beginning of a RimWorld game. I am your host, attackslug. More videos every day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. And back again, hopefully soon, for some more RimWorld right here on this channel. And I'm out.